I just got back from Thailand and I was certain that I was ready for this trip and could not wait to delve into the food. But what I didn't know about the food almost ruined the entire trip for me. And with that in mind, I wanted to give you a few tips when you are going on a food adventure to keep you from ruining your trip. The first is to really be acquainted with the food before you go. I have had Thai food, but I don't think I really had Thai food. I think I probably had an Americanized version of Thai food, or I definitely had Thai food that was not as spicy as real Thai food. And I'm a person who thinks that I'm okay with spice, and that was a big surprise for me. So, understanding what the dishes are actually like in the place where you're going to be going and having it authentically is going to be a really big game changer for you. If you are in a location where you can talk to someone who is of that culture, for me, going to a Thai restaurant and talking to the chefs, or finding a place that sells those ingredients locally so you can try it out at home and understanding the spice and the levels and the things that go in there. I really wish that I had taken some more time to understand the Thai food culture and scene before I went. I thought I was ready. I'd watched some YouTube videos. It all looked delicious and I couldn't wait. But when I got there, it wasn't what I was expecting. Not taste wise, but just a whole level of not understanding what the food was really like in the place where I was going. It wasn't just sitting down in a restaurant and having pad thai. It was an entire experience. And I wish that I had made sure that I was ready for that before I went. The second thing is, I really suggest taking a food tour or a cooking class or both, which we did when we were in Thailand, to get yourself acquainted with the food before delving right in. I honestly wish that we had taken our cooking class first because our chef was so amazing at explaining to us the cooking process and where the different types of dishes came from, the cultural influences, why there are curries and why there are noodles and why there are rice and why there are all of these different ingredients. And it gave me an understanding so that later, when I was exploring on my own, I had a better idea of A, what I was looking for, and what was going to be involved in the cooking of that. So I knew what to expect when I was eating it. Food tours are also really important because you often go to the most local places and you have a guide who's going to explain things to you. So when we went on our food tour, we had pad thai, but we also had it coupled with other things that we would not normally have put on pad thai or with. And one thing that I was surprised at is how they cook their shrimp and they have it with the shell still on in the food in the dish, but they're huge shrimp and it was just a big thing. So understanding, really having somebody there who can help you with that is really great. And watching videos and things will be helpful, but it's not as helpful as being there with someone who can answer questions and maybe keep you from feeling foolish. While I'm looking at these shrimp and wondering, okay, do I use a fork and knife, which I don't really have because I have chopsticks, or do I just pick it up and eat it? Do I eat the shell? I felt really out of place, and those feelings could taint how I actually feel about the trip or how I felt about the food. So, to make sure that you have a really positive experience, you want to make sure that you're keeping your feelings about how you're reacting and what you're doing on a positive scale, also. And having a guide there with you is one way to do that. Or finding locals that either you know or that are there to that you feel like you could talk to would be another really great way of making sure that you are understanding and being able to enjoy the food the way that it is without feeling icky because you don't understand what's going on. And finally, just a couple of pointers on what to do if you get there and you don't really love the food. And that kind of happened. I did love the food, but I also tired of it quickly. I am not used to having Thai food 3 times a day, every day for 2 weeks. And it quickly got to the point where I really just wanted some cereal and milk for breakfast, or I really just wanted a cheeseburger. And we happened to be in places where we could find those, which was great. when you're going someplace, check to see what international chains are available there. You're almost always going to find McDonald's. And y'all, that is such a fun experience to go to McDonald's and other places to see what's the same and what's not the same. Like in Thailand, they had tomato sauce, but then they had American ketchup too. So to us, they tasted the same, but I'm sure to more discerning palates, they were quite different. Looking at those chains will help you find places. Also, if you can, look at menus before you go to restaurants and make sure that you are understanding what's there. If you're going to really local restaurants and the menus are not written in your language, take some time to translate that before you go and make some notes of what you want to have so that you know that you're going to be getting something that you like. My husband got something one day that had blood cubes in it. He tried them. I couldn't do it, but I would never have gotten that dish, and I kind of suspect he might not have either if we had known that was going to be in there, but we didn't. So making sure that you kind of have an idea of what the local dishes are. In Thailand, the same dishes are served over and over, and they all have pretty much the same things in them. So if we had understood what that dish was, we would have known that the blood cubes were coming in it, and we would have been able to either make another choice or say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and try this. And that is a really good tip also, is keep an open mind and try things that you think you might not like. You may find out that you do like the food and find a new favorite that can get you through the rest of that time. And don't be afraid to ask. If you're at a restaurant, or ask your hotel, your concierge, or the front desk staff, everyone's going to be more than happy to help you find something that's going to keep you sustained and ready to keep exploring the other parts of the culture that maybe you're going to be vibing with more than the food. And the final tip is bring snacks with you. You know, you might be able to carry that little extra weight with you as you're going over, and then you're going to be eating that and replace that with your souvenirs as you're coming back. I've heard lots of stories of people who packed suitcases or backpacks full of things that they knew that they could eat and would keep them energized and were nutritious. So when they got there, if there wasn't anything for them to eat, or they found, oh my gosh, I'm getting bored with the same thing over and over again, I need a break, they had that with them. I really wish that we had done that. And on the way back, my daughter, who had not eaten anything on the plane the whole way there because it was all too foreign to her, brought tons of snacks that she found at 7-Eleven, which are everywhere in Thailand. It was so fun. But tons of snacks that she found there so that she could keep herself full on the plane. And then when we got back, she was back to normal and ready to go. I would love to help you create your next culinary journey. If you are looking for more ideas, please visit my website, adventuringwithcrystal.com, or book a discovery call with me. All of the links are below in the show notes, and I would be more than excited to help you start your next adventure.